taking about 65 mil out of it. Now what I'll do is cut this little bracket off. I'm guessing that was some sort of bracket that probably stopped the plastics of the bike touching the pipe and melting, but I won't be needing that now, so I'll cut that off and smooth off the welds and clean it up a bit. Should be good. Had some more parts turn up. Let's see what we got here. They really didn't want me to get into this, did they? Right, Cycra front fender. So that shape is 2016 to 2020. We have a headlight insert of the same year, so a more current shape than what I'm running at the moment. Rotator grips, UFO, headlight surround, same shape. And then rear fender, which is the original fender shape, but in black. Awesome. So here's the new fender that I'm going to be using. It's a Cycra fender. Now the holes are actually different, but I'm going to make it work. So originally this bike mounts off 4 bolts from underneath, whereas this one has 2 at the back and then 2 on the front into the front face of the triple clamp. Now what I'm going to do is measure the centers here, which is 60 mil, transfer it onto here, and then 9 millimeters back, which is what I've measured on the triple clamps. And then that way I'll get the front 2 bolts mounted up fine, and then I'm not sure if I'll get the back ones or not because they're so close to the original ones, but I'll see how I go. So now I've marked it out. Probably can't see because I've scratched the marks on, but now I'll just drill a really small hole in each. Now I'll go over and check, make sure that my holes line up. They work spot on. So now what I'll do is measure these little inserts here, which measures 10 mil. So that'll be my drill size. Drill those 2 out and then the front fender should mount up. Should be it. Double check the drill size. Yep. Now pop these inserts in. There we go. Basically all they do is stop the plastic squashing when you do the bolts up, because if the plastic squashes like that then it'll end up splitting and then the fender will fall off. But with these inserts in there it'll end up pulling the bolt up against the insert rather than the plastic. So now I'll go see if she works. One-handed. See how I go. Don't know where my T-bar is, it's hiding somewhere. How can I find 50 bucks yet I can't even find a bloody T-bar? There we go. Got it on. Bolts up sweet with the first 2, but definitely needs 2 more because she's pretty floppy. So I'm gonna have to get creative and probably modify the plastic slightly so that I can get those last 2 bolts in. There it is, should be good to go now. It's not the prettiest, but I think it should be fine. Got all my exhaust parts ready to go now. It's all 2-inch. Got a heap of pie cuts to do some of the bends with and a 90-degree elbow to come straight out of the head with. Got all my springs, the spigot that goes onto the engine, and the chopped down muffler. Let's see what I can do with it. So now I've got all my exhaust parts. I'm about to start tackling the exhaust. I forgot to mention too, I got all these parts through Ben Brothers. I think they're located in Brisbane. This is the second time I've bought stuff off them. They've got a pretty good online store and their prices seem pretty legit, so shout out to them. Yeah, I'll crack on with it. So basically what I want to do is bolt up this spigot to the motor, then have a short piece of stainless tube, 2-inch, and then this first 90-degree bend will come straight off of that, and it should be about here somewhere. As you can see in the background, my WR tracker, that's a pretty similar style head that I want to do for this bike, but the only main difference is that head pokes to the side slightly, whereas this one comes directly out the center of the frame. Once it's out, then I just kind of want to follow this main frame rail under the foot peg, kick up a little bit, and then into my muffler. So this first bend that I'm using, I've had it up in the bike and I think it's a little bit too many degrees, so it's 90 degrees. I'm going to cut it back to that line. The way I marked it was pretty much just matched it up to this piece, put a mark there, put a cable tie around the tube. That way you get a pretty straight line that's even. Pull your cable tie away and then cut it with the grinder. So this is where I'm at. I've taped together some of these pies. I've got 4 of them together at the moment. I'm thinking that is roughly the angle for the next piece. I know that's not the right size, but it's a bit of a good length indicator. That's sort of what I'm thinking, and then after that will be another set of pies similar to that. So I might lock that in now and cut a piece of 2-inch, that length, whatever that is. Now I'm going to start tacking the pieces together. So this is the first piece that goes against the motor, and this is the first bend. I've just taped them together. I'll put 3 tacks around it, and then this is the third piece which will go on there, same process. So I've had a slight change of plans. Instead of using the springs to mount the header to the head of the motor, I think I'm going to take the spigot off the motor and then actually weld my exhaust straight to it. That way it'll be a solid mount exhaust all the way through. There it is there. So that'll get welded into there like that. So I've got the pipe back on now, and I've mocked up a few more pies and a piece of straight. So I've got 5 pies in there, which is 45 degrees. If I sit that there, it's fairly close to where I want it to be. Maybe the angle slightly lower. And I think this piece needs to be slightly shorter to lift it up a little bit closer to the motor. So I think I might take about maybe 8 or 10 mil off this piece. And then if I need to, I'll change the cut angle slightly as well to get my desired angle. And that should be good. Got the pipe pretty well where I want it now. So I'm gonna do a couple of tacks while it's on the bike. So that's gonna have to do it for now. 2 reasons. I'm out of 2-inch tube. I've got another length coming. And I wanna finish the rest and work out the angles of the muffler once I've got the bike on the wheels with the suspension dialed. So for now, I'll just leave this tacked up. Then when I sort the rest out later, then I'll be able to weld it all up.